Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Giudice has New Hope United States re-entry. Giudice has become known to audiences through Real Housewives of New Jersey. Giudice recently shared that his attempts to gain American citizenship ultimately fell through. Despite this, he hasn't given up hope and even thinks he knows who could possibly help him. Joe's spouse Teresa Giudice, originally Teresa Gorga, rose to prominence on The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Joe himself also notably appeared on the show throughout the years, starting in 2009. The two married in 1999 and divorced back in 2020. Joe was born in Salerno, Italy, though he spent much of his life in the United States. Following legal trouble in 2013, Joe was deported to Italy in 2019. Following this, however, he relocated to the Bahamas. However, Joe is still set on returning to the United States. This past Wednesday, as noted by People, Joe recently shared an update on his attempts at becoming a United States citizen on his ex-wife Teresa Giudice's podcast, Turning the Tables. Joe shared, "I got a lawyer working on something, but she's been working on it. Hasn't done anything yet. So I don't know. We'll see." Joe continued, "I did get in front of the embassy, and they denied me because I guess I'm a big criminal." He claimed that the process did not last even 5 minutes before his application was denied. During the podcast, a fan asked Joe if he thought the recent re-election of President Donald Trump could give him a second chance. Joe admitted, "When I met Trump, he was very nice to me. I was very nice to him when we were on his show over there. I don't know. I think he should get me back." Currently in Nassau, Joe has since found work in construction and is even an amateur fighter. He admitted, as much as he misses the United States, he feels Nassau is pretty close to home. He claimed the island is kind of Americanized, and he often sees American people here. Joe continued, "Everywhere you go, everybody speaks English here. I know how to read the language. Everything here is just regular English." Joe admitted that made things easier than living in Italy. He noted, "I know how to talk here. In Italy, I knew how to talk, but I didn't know how to read." Have you been following this story? Do you think Joe Giudice will obtain his United States citizenship? Joe Giudice finds new hope for United States re-entry after legal battles. For many fans of The Real Housewives of New Jersey, Joe Giudice is more than just a reality TV star. He's a symbol of both controversy and redemption. The once larger-than-life figure who faced a public legal battle and subsequent deportation to his native Italy has now found a flicker of hope in his ongoing desire to return to the United States. After years of uncertainty and setbacks, it seems there may be a new chance for Joe to re-enter the U.S., leaving fans and critics alike wondering what the future holds for this complicated figure. The legal journey, from deported to hopeful. Joe Giudice's story has been one of tumult and legal wrangling. After his conviction on multiple charges of fraud in 2014, Joe, along with his wife Teresa Giudice, found themselves at the center of a highly publicized legal case. While Teresa served her 11-month sentence and was released in December 2015, Joe's fate was more uncertain. In 2016, Joe was sentenced to 41 months in prison and faced an additional legal blow when he was ordered to be deported to Italy upon completing his sentence. While Teresa was able to remain in the U.S. with their daughters, Joe's deportation order meant that he would have to leave his family behind unless he could successfully appeal the decision. Despite numerous legal attempts, including an appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court, Joe's bid to stay in the country was denied. In October 2019, after serving his prison sentence, Joe was flown to Italy, where he lived away from his family, despite making frequent appearances in public and on social media. New legal developments. In the years following his deportation, Joe made attempts to adjust to his new life in Italy. But throughout this time, he expressed a deep longing to reunite with his daughters and return to the U.S. It's clear that Joe has not given up hope. In recent months, there have been whispers of a new opportunity for Joe to re-enter the United States, a development that could change the course of his future. According to recent reports, a change in U.S. immigration laws and policy could provide Joe with a path back to the States. Joe's legal team has reportedly filed new documents, citing legal grounds that may allow him to reapply for re-entry. This move has given Joe and his supporters a renewed sense of optimism, with some seeing it as a glimmer of light after years of family and public support. While Joe's legal team has worked tirelessly behind the scenes, his family, especially his daughters, Gia, Gabriella, Melania, and Adriana, have been vocal in their support for their father's return. Teresa Giudice, who has been incredibly vocal about her support for Joe's re-entry, has stood by him through thick and thin, even though their romantic relationship has ended. It is no secret that the Giudice family has endured emotional turmoil over the years. Teresa, now remarried to Luis Ruelas, has shared the emotional weight of seeing Joe separated from their children. The Giudice girls, who have grown up without their father in the U.S., have been particularly affected. As young adults, they have frequently expressed their desire to have their father back home, and their words have resonated with fans who understand the pain of family separation. Joe's new life in Italy. In many ways, Joe's life in Italy has been a reinvention. After the trauma of his legal battles, he found a sense of stability in his new surroundings, away from the intense media scrutiny of his past life in New Jersey. Though he spent the majority of his time in Italy since his deportation, Joe's presence on social media has kept him connected to his fans and family in the U.S., from celebrating holidays with his daughters to engaging with followers on Instagram. Joe has made efforts to remain relevant in the public eye. But despite this newfound peace, Italy has not been without its challenges. Joe has openly discussed how difficult it has been to live away from his children, stating that he has struggled with the separation from the only home he's known for most of his life. While he's made strides to adapt to his new surroundings, picking up the language and embracing the culture, the desire to return to the United States has always been at the forefront of his mind. Will Joe Giudice make a comeback to the U.S.? As Joe's legal team works to navigate the complexities of U.S. immigration law, the question remains: will he be granted permission to return? The legal process, though hopeful, is far from guaranteed. The U.S. immigration system is notoriously difficult to navigate, particularly for individuals who have been involved in high-profile legal battles like Joe. However, there is a growing sense of optimism among Joe's supporters. The changing landscape of immigration policy, along with Joe's ongoing commitment to improving his life and reestablishing his relationship with his family, might create a unique opportunity for him. For many, Joe's potential re-entry into the U.S. represents more than just a second chance. It's a testament to resilience, the power of hope, and the possibility of redemption. The future of Joe Giudice. Whatever the outcome of Joe's legal battle, his story is far from over. Whether or not he is granted re-entry into the United States, Joe Giudice has already proven that he has the strength to overcome obstacles and adapt to new circumstances. His journey has inspired many who have faced their own challenges, particularly those in the public eye, to continue fighting for their futures. For fans who have followed Joe's journey from the RHONG days to his time in prison and deportation, his possible return to the U.S. is a full-circle moment. If successful, Joe's re-entry could mark the beginning of a new chapter, not just for him but for the entire Giudice family. Whether Joe ultimately returns to the U.S. or continues to make his home in Italy, one thing is clear. His journey has shown that, even in the face of adversity, there is always hope. The Giudices have endured, and their story of struggle, love, and perseverance continues to unfold. For Joe, the possibility of returning home is just the latest chapter in a life filled with unexpected twists and an unwavering desire for redemption.